This one is prosody.
Prosody.
Prosody approach. Then we have the pronunciation spectrum. I call it the L1, L2 spectrum. Right, let's start with this one, which I have already given to you the last time I was here. When we try to measure our English, we have to imagine a spectrum like this. Okay. L1 and L2. You've seen me do this the last time I was here. This is, wait, I still need to pick my purpose here. And then, who are the people who are going to benefit from this seminar? ELT, English language teaching teachers, parents, and learners. Right? Anybody will be able to do this. And then we're going to look at the bibliography. Now, when I was in the call center, the focus of the call center was to look at the different pronunciation individual sounds. We call those sounds phonemes. All right. So let's say English. All right. And it has different sound. First, you have the E. Okay, and then you have the I forgot the sound, the symbol. I really can't bring it up for the life of me. I can't remember the symbols. Then you have the and then this one, the There's a difference. You know, this one can have three different sounds. You have the I, you have the and then you have the E. C, sit. So it's ice. Right? So again, one letter, but then it represents three different sounds. Now, you have to remember that language, when it started, it never was written. It was simply sounds. So these sounds, eventually, they were put into writing. So these, hi, hello, right? I want you to know about I want you to meet my father and mother. We don't speak like that. Hi, how are you doing? I want you to meet my father and mother. And then, so this is what you call the connected speech. Right now, the concentration in the majority of standard language teaching academies or schools around the world concentrate first and foremost with the connected speech sounds. And how do you learn about this? We concentrate on the prosody approach, which I will be introducing you. The moment you learn about the prosody approach, you can concentrate on developing how connected speech is spoken. All right. What do we need to understand about communication? You communicate because of three things. Now, there is new information. You want to say something. For example, if you look at the textbook here, is there any other extra paper? Okay, for example, look at the number 1 here. If you're going to read this, there is a new information here. What are the new information? Number 1 is, I'm going to tell you, new information is Victor Vaselis. Okay. Second information is that he is a Californian immigrant. Next new information is that he grew up in a poor village in Mexico. Right? Not in the rich village, but in a poor village. It's not in California, but in Mexico. So there are a lot of new information here. Now, when you are communicating, a good communicator can communicate new information clearly. There's not going to be any doubt that you are trying to give a new information. Now, second one is a clear communicator can de-emphasize old information. All right? So when you say, Victor Bucelas, a California immigrant, grew up in a poor village, he used to work, you don't have to introduce he again. The old information is that we're talking about Victor Bucelas. So Victor Bucelas, he grew up in Mexico. He's a California immigrant, and we're going to talk about that he's now in California. Those are old information. You can de-emphasize information that are not important, so you can import them. When you are communicating, you should be able to emphasize new information you're giving. You don't have to de-emphasize the old information, and you should be able to communicate what is important to what you're saying. Now, this cannot be done by simply studying the segmental. You have to look at the prosody approach. Now, we're going to go to the heart of the matter. We have in that I believe it's only up to here. Now, the moment you reach I think this one, 75% of the low influence of the L2, then you can be understood by at least 60 to 70% of native English speakers. The moment you reach the half of the high L2, or here, at least 80 to 85% of native English speakers can understand you. It's not, nowadays, it is not the target of pronunciation language or any language teaching for them to reach the L2 sound. Okay. Oh, come in. Please come in. I think so. Okay. School and right. Church and school. Orange. They're trying to speak English, but they could not shed off their L1 sound. School and English, less influence, but still, you can hear that their pattern. My wife and my daughter, they have that gift. The other one is through formal study. My son and I can only learn a new language if we sit down and study grammar, study structure, syntax, and everything. Okay, so what is the goal for now English teachers to teach the pronunciation if they're already beyond 9 years old? Okay, the goal is to be able to at least reach this area, which is not impossible. But you can't do that by the traditional segmental, by means of the rhythm and melody. You can teach the rhythm. You cannot teach rhythm and melody by studying segmental. You can only teach the rhythm and melody if you go the prosody approach. Now, we're going to go there. Right? Our target, remember, is not to sound like a native English speaker. I don't sound exactly like a native English speaker. I sound more like near native. My daughter sounds very much like that. My wife and I, we sound around here. My son sounds like this area. Because 60,000 hours. According to research, it takes around 60,000 hours of brain hammering, like you're going to put a lot of sounds in your brain to be able to get that sound right. And we can easily, I think by the time they reach 4 or 5 years old, pretty much they have around 20,000, 25,000 of like MP3s in their brain to be able to speak in Korean. And as a sideline, it is good to have a preschool. If you can have a school that can teach English, that will teach English to 4 or 5 years old, first grade, second grade, third grade. That's why they always put me and my wife in the first grade up to the lower grades in the elementary. Because I told them the best influence will be coming from, the best influence for the Koreans to get to this level is when they're at least before 9 years old. What is the age for the third graders?
10.
Around 10. See? They put me in the first and second grades. My wife too. She's teaching second to the 6th grade. At least there is exposure. Okay, so for language teachers, I'm going to start with the parents. Okay, with the parents, it's really good to make your home an English-rich home. If I can only stay in Korea, I'm going to hold a lot of radio programs. I've already talked to one radio station, and I want to stay in Korea because I want Filipino children. I mean, Korean Filipino children to have the advantage. You know, I can make a radio. I'm going to use my wife. We can put some drama on the radio program.
It's the trend now.
You know, and expose not only the children but also the parents. So that the parents will, you know, slowly as time goes by, they're going to be influenced by the way they constantly hear the English language. But it will influence the children. An English-rich home, according to, this one is English-rich home for reading. Now, I use that to translate an English-rich home to the sound. Okay, number one, when your children are taking a shower, play an English song. Remember Cheryl Lee Arilian, she was with the 1 + I + 1 professor, which is, what's his name? Stephen Krashen. Okay? I've been reading Stephen Krashen for more than 12 years now, but Stephen Krashen says that this is the reason why I advise all my students who are maybe probably at university, foreign language learners, to read books from the 6th graders. American 6th grade novels, right? College students, university students in Korea read 6th grade novel books. Because in the novels, they still have to learn a lot of native language, what you call the natural language, how they speak. Grade 6, 6th grade. If you give them the high school or college level novels, it's not I + 1 because I hear this means that if this is the language level, let's say they're high beginners. If this is the language level of the students and you jump from high beginner to low intermediate to high intermediate and advanced, they're not going to understand anything here. It's got to be, this is their level, a little over this, put the language input. And the low beginners can speak phrases and they cannot yet speak sentences. They can only memorize. Okay, like hi, good morning. You think they sound very well, but start talking to them spontaneously, they won't understand that. Those are low beginners. High beginners, they can start having short conversation because of memorized patterns, and speak a little bit. Like, where are you going? I'm going to the supermarket. Like that, and then there are so many grammatical gaps. I'm going to supermarket. I'm going supermarket. They lack the prepositions and the articles, those structural languages. They can't do that yet. So going back, getting an English-rich home means that every opportunity, child is about to sleep, wake up, eating, poo-poo, shower, not doing anything, not the gadget. play the sound. Whatever they're doing, play nursery rhymes. Let them watch movies with for children, and you have that at Netflix, $12 per hour. You can have a lot of sounds there, like Lucy and Max and Lucy, Max and Ruby. There are so many Netflix that you can get Netflix for $12 a month, Samsung. You know, every month you can have 2 television. You can watch. That's what I've been doing. Okay, so with my kids, I buried them. We buried them in a lot of animation sounds, and we try to speak with them in English as well. Right. So they got the sound. Okay. Now let's go to the prosody. We're taking much time about this introduction. All right. Okay. So I listened to you. All right, I listened to you, your connected speech, and I would say that language learners who are here, all right, this is the middle, high L2, that means you can speak the English language with a high influence of the American sound system. You got the right rhythm, you got the right melody, the segmental features are there. You don't say the ah, but you say the ah sound. You don't have any problem with the shua, the vowel sounds that are weak. Then our target is to, generally what I hear is that most of the language, connected speech I hear is around this level. There. And sound like an American, all right? At least sound not Filipinish, but sound more like this. Not perfectly like a native English speaker. And my sound is, I'm a near native, all right? When you say you're native, I've never had an issue about any American asking me where I grew up. They always ask, which part of the state you grew up in? Now, are you Canadian? I say, no. So, okay, so how are we going to develop this? Going from there to here, all right? Aside from the segmental, we're not going to deal with the segmental, okay? The ass sound, and hand, you don't say hand, you say hand, and then you don't, like, oh, the English, they say no. Koreans, no. I say, not no, right? Hey, no, don't do that, no. Whenever I'm in the school, and the students are walking, you say, hi, where are you going? What is that? For example, what is that? Is that a cow? No. Also, no, that's not a cow. I think cow. It's a cow. Cow. Those are the segmental sounds. The phonemes. I'll leave you to master that. Okay? It's up to you. But that is secondary. The primary is what you call the prosody. And here is what makes a difference between those who speak the L1 and the lower L2 pronunciation system. This is what makes it different. As I have given in the FB account, this prosody pyramid is that which will enable you to not only learn by yourself, but also teach. So yeah. This is not toning, okay? Remember the toning? I'll be perfect. Here. Okay, this is what you call the thought root. That means you have to have a good understanding of English. When you read a sentence, you should be able to know what are the thought groups in a sentence. And they call this the focus word. And the stress, and you have the peak. You have to remember this, and like, even if you're sleeping, you have to dream this. Puncture, stress. Okay, thought group. Let's look at the sentence here. Okay, Victor Vaselis is a California immigrant who grew up in a poor village in Mexico. All right. Now, when you say thought group, this is a unit of a complete idea or unit of information. For example, Victor Vaselis, it's not Cheryl Sambukin. It's not Johanna Angela Luz Pilazada. It's not John Carlos Pajado Lizada Villaramas Campos. It's not that, okay? It's not, what's the name? Rexi Ponce. It's not that, but it's Victor Vaselis. Is a California immigrant. He's not a Korean immigrant. He's not a European immigrant, not a German immigrant, but a California immigrant who grew up in a poor village, not in a who died in a poor village. Not so. If you look at me, how many thought groups can you hear? Okay, listen. Victor Vaselis is a California immigrant who grew up in a poor village in Mexico. How many thought groups are there by reading? Go look at your papers. How many thought groups can you find here? Number one, I'll give you a clue. Number one, Victor Vaselis, one thought group. Is a California immigrant, same thought group. Who grew up in a poor village in Mexico is third group. Now, if you are going to be teaching children